What does he say?
Good morning. Morning.
There's a lot of parts to it. Certain parts we spoke about, some I didn't speak about. I won't go into that in details. Siman Aleph. I'm going to start. Siman Aleph. I'm going to start with the Rambam Hilchos Nazirus Halacha Hey, Perek Aleph Halacha Hey. Okay. The Zera Shoynoi. Ein Oimim Ben Nazirus, we don't say by Nazirus, Ad Sheyoytzi Bisfosov. Dovo Shemashmo Etzel Kol Ha'om Kinyan Shebelievin. We don't say by Nazirus, although the Torah says, Levata Bisfosayim, you have to take out of your lips, by Nedorim, by Nazirus. But we don't say by Nazirus that you need to take out of your lips something which everybody understands what you mean. Since you can include in your heart and you took on your lips words which the subject will be, there will be a nazir. The subject that there will be a nazir, even though it's a far out subject. It's a far out subject. Even though there's no understanding Loshan Nazirus in the words, the language of Nazirus. What exactly means? It's Inyan Rochoik and there's no Mashmos Loshan. What does it mean? That's the main piece that he goes through. It's not really what we want to know. It's not really the subject right now. Keitzad, what's the case? If a Nazir was passing in front of him, and he says, hey, yeah, I will be. Is a Nazir. Or since Ubeliboy in his heart was Sheir that will be Kemoizel like this one. Even though he didn't specify. He didn't say I will be like this guy, but since he said a language, and the language, and he had a decision in his heart what he wants, and he said a language, and the language can you understand? And the far away that means Nazir still works. But Tzorich Biru needs an explanation. What does the Rambam means in his length in his words? It's not our subject right now, but he started with this. If the Rambam wants to teach us the law of Yodos, what is a Yad? Yad means a handle. When I want to pick up a vessel, a cup, I hold the handle. The handle holds the cup. So it's a language too. I can have a handle of a language can contain in it the rest of the words. It's not the rest of the words, just a handle. So do we have a concept of a handle as like I'm holding the whole thing in the language? Those few words contains the rest of, by holding those words, I can hold the rest of the words in the world of language. So, if the Rambam is intention to teach us, Din Yoda is the laws of Yodas. He should have teach us this concept in short. Like you wrote in the dog, you don't even need a vatim time. You have to express with your lips your words of neder or by neder, and there an expression of words of the neder is a dinyan. Also here in the zeros, what is he talking too much, so much? You don't need this, rather you need that, and he gives. What do you need all that? What you don't need, what you do need, just say what we need. And teachers in short what you need, like in the Dorim. The oid and more. Tzarich ledagdek, you need to be exact. Ma'u kavanoso, what is the intention? Be'omru, when the Rambam says, en oimri b'nezirus, we don't say by nezirus, they need the full words. V'odin yodois ike b'Kiddushin. The word nezirus is wrong. It should say, I don't say by nezirus I need a full word. Rather, yad works. It's not only by nezirus. And only by nezirus and by neder and by kiddushin, you don't need this full word. Rather, it's not only nezirus. Why is he saying only here in nezirus? I don't need by nezirus full words. Yad works. It's not only nezirus. The fima shenavi. We're going to bring later on the kamon pigush Rabbi. Sharamam holds the alocho. The yeshal the kiddushin. All the gemara has a suffix. But the Gemara says intim tzoloim, but the Gemara include that there's yad kiddushin. Im ken ma'oitzi michlal dvorov. What does he want to exclude by saying we don't say by nezirus? Full language, right? Yad works. It's not a specialty of nezirus. Im ken ma'oitzi michlal dvorov. It's because of enoim nezirus. We don't say nezirus. What do you want to exclude? Other places we do say. Here we don't say. Other places also we say. The same. Other places also we don't say you need a full language. Okay. That's in base and Gimel, he explains it. We now in Aleph. A goal is Aleph. V'nagdim divrei moir v'Rabbi Agoyin Amiti Achosid Rosh HaKobne Agoylo Zechusu Yogaleinu Amen. He wants to first preface bring the words of Reb Chaim HaLevi. Okay. Ahod the boy ben Ador. And this is where we start. The Gemara Nedorim has a boy. Im yesh yad Kiddushin aloi. Does Kiddushin has a yad, a hand or not? Umuki, the Gemara puts it up, Kegon, for example. What is the case of the doubt of the Gemara? The Omar lo leisho, some man told a woman, Aran Mekudesh asli, you engaged him and he gave her money. V'omar lechaver tavad, and he told the friend that was standing here, and you probably also gave her money. Mi amrinon, do we say v'at na, mean you also? Omar lechaverto, he told you also, your friend, he told the friend you also can get married to me. As a person can marry two women before Cherem Rabbeinu Gesher married a couple of women. V'tafse b'kiddushin lechaverto, a kiddushin will hold to a friend. Or Dilmo, maybe v'at chazoy omar lechaverto. Maybe he said, you will watch. Kiddushin will not grab by a friend. This is the doubt of the Gemara. Again, the Gemara has a doubt. Gemara and Nedorim. We have here Gemara and Nedorim. Please, the Gemara and Nedorim, thank you. Davov, Amud Beis. The Gemara here I have Nedorim. Big is better. The bigger the better. The Gemara Nedorim has a suffix. Do we say there is yad Kiddushin or not? So the Ran Nedorim says some few more words. What is the suffix? I'm going to read the Ran Nedorim. B'dafka. Boi Rav Popo, yesh yad Kiddushin or oloi. Comes the Ran and it says, afilu biyad mochiach. The Birka Shmuel brings down this Ran soon. I want to read the Ran inside. Kami boile, even though it's clear, the yad mochiach means the part of the language is very clear, it's muchach, from the situation, the full words that I want to marry. That's clear. So what is the doubt? Mi amrinon do we say? Nehidol Israbulu Yodos Behedio. True, the word yad we learn from a pasuk. And there's no ribui lehedia. There's no clear ribui by nedori, by kiddushin of din yad. Kamrina b'metzinim nedori. We learn b'metzinim nedori in the same way by neder yad works. Also by kiddushin, even though there's no ribui, the ribui is only by neder. What? Yeah, by neder we learn from a pasuk. By neder we learn from a pasuk.
Yeah, but what about the connection of
B'matzino. B'matzino. Says Nozir lahazir lashem. Makish yodas nazir lenazirus. Man v'aflo yodas nazirus v'aflo. Where do they learn from a pasuk or here? They learn 2 pages before from a pasuk.
that's when the zero.
What?
Not about Tasha.
No, no,
Tasha, no?
no. They learn from a pasuk.
You learn the Dora, but you learn the do.
By Nedorim, there's a pasuk. The question is, there's a pasuk by Nedorim that yad works. The question is, since by Kiddushin there's no pasuk for yad, what's going to be? Do we learn Kiddushin from Nedorim or not? Okay, I try to look where's the pasuk. I didn't happen now, but there's a pasuk. Or en yad, or maybe there's no yad. Why? What's the svara not to learn Kiddushin from Nedorim? Or en yad va'afilu moichiach. Maybe there's no yad, even though it's moichiach. Why? The Nedorim shiny. By Nedorim is different. The chamira, which is strict. The afilu b'dibur be'al mechayli, even with words alone, the neder, the vow takes an effect. Masha'enkin b'kiddushin rather than by kiddushin. She'en tzrichim is a maise kesef or shtar or bia. By kiddushin I need a maise of money, maise of shtar, maise of bia. So since I need a maise and it's not words, by Nedorim is words. So in the world of words, it's very chomu. Words are so strong there. Words does it all. So when the world of words works, so part of words makes the words. And you have yad moichiach, kliya yad, and yad of means yad of words. So since yad is so strong by Nedorim that makes the whole chalois, so part of yad, part of words makes the whole word, because any of words are very strong there. But by kiddushin, that need a maise, which means words, it's not doing it. It needs a maise to do it. Kesef, to do the kiddushin, to make a chalois. So really, it's not the words that are doing it. They need a maise that does it, or both, but it needs a maise. So therefore, maybe there, that words are not so strong. Who says part of the word could be a word? Who say yad could be a word? That's a suffix. Again, the suffix of Yeshiyah Kiddushin is not a matter, his intention, what he means. It's not a doubt what he means or doesn't mean. It's not a doubt what he means or it doesn't mean. What do you keep it? It's not a doubt what it means or it doesn't mean. It's not a doubt of that. It's not a suffix of that. Rather, what is it? Since the posuk of yad is by Nedorim, do we learn Kiddushin from Nedorim, or we say no? Nedorim is the power of the words, and Kiddushin is not the words, it's the Maisa too. Needs some Maisa. I don't know. That's not clear. He says that they need a Maisa. They need some Maisa, some certain Maisa. Kiddushin needs certain Maisa. What does it mean? It needs also only Maisa. That's a different shot. It's not our subject now. But don't divert the question. The sveikis is, what is the suffix of Yad Kiddushin or not? Do we learn from Nedorim? Or we say, no, Nedorim because there everything is Dibur, and here needs some kind of mice. By Kiddushin, that's all. So now let's go back here. And we got this Ran. Let's go back here to.
Sounds from that in Kiddushin we don't have Dibur.
We don't need Dibur. It's not right. Dibur doesn't do it all. By Nedorim, by Nezirus, the Levata Bisvasayim, the words does it all. By Kiddushin, it's not the words. It needs some ma'aseh. I won't say it doesn't. The word doesn't do it all. You need some ma'aseh. What does it mean in ma'aseh? Ma'aseh does it all. Dibur and ma'aseh does it. We're going to see now. That's our subject here. Okay. So now let's go back to the Gemara. I'm reading back in the Birkas Shmuel in the third paragraph. Please. V'nagdim divrei Morer Rabbi Agoin Amiti Achosik Rosh B'Aretz Ziyah. Ahot HaPoim in the Dorim. That the Gemara has a doubt in the Dorim. Im yesh yad Kiddushin oloi. Umuki in the Gemara says going when he says Ara Mekudesh Esli V'lechaverto he says V'at mi amrin on V'at Nami Oma lechaverto Kiddush lechaverto. You also get engaged. Or Dilu V'at Chazo you would watch. V'ik Shemoyer B'Rabbi. That's what we hold. So the my Rabbi Reb Chaim Alevi asked a question, a very fundamental question. Ma tzrichim onu ledin lo showing gabe kiddushin. What do we have to come on to the law of language of lingua by kiddushin, or afilu umdana even estimation al yedei assumption estimation al yedei through. He spoke to her before on the business of Kiddushin, her Kiddushin. Even there's no law of language. He also works by Kiddushin. Why? I don't need this. I don't need to express with my lips my words. By Netorim, I express my words. I need words. Really, what he's asking? He's asking, what's your question? Can I learn Kiddushin from Nedorim? That by Nedorim, words makes it, and part of words works. By Kiddushin, maybe words, part of words would works. Word works. I don't know, it doesn't make it, but word works. So if word works, maybe part of words also should work. Oh no, there the words are very strong. That makes the whole chalois. So part of word works. It's chamire. The words are chamire, strong. But by Kiddushin, the words are not strong because you needed some kind of ma'aseh. What do you mean? He says, forget about of the whole world of words by Kiddushin. Kiddushin doesn't need words. Kiddushin, even umdana works. Afterwards he gives her money, doesn't speak. A word, because you have an umdana, you have an assumption, you have an estimation. Umdana works. So since umdana works, what I need to come out to din loshen. The whole world of yad is a din and loshen, a language. Part of language, yad of language can fulfill the whole language. So we learn Kiddushin from the Dorim there, the Torah is Mechadesh, in Levata B'Sosayim, part of language. The full language also here. Oh no, there's a din Levata, the words are strong and they don't come. Okay, good. But forget about it in the world of words. Kiddushin doesn't need word. And since always I have, V'Aran, behold the Ran, Kosav the Ran there wrote, the Vada Yad Moichiach have it. The Ran we just read, the case is Yad Moichiach. The doubt of the Gemara when we say Va'at is not a doubt what I meant. It's not a question what I meant when I said Va'at. We don't know I mean you also get married or you also come and see. It's not a doubt in my intention. The Ram was Mechadesh that the soul of the Gemara there is not a suffix in Moichiach. It's not Moichiach, not Moichiach. It's not a suffix in Yad Shein Moichiach. No, it was Moichiach. You definitely know my intention. The question is, in the world of language, yes, you know clearly what I meant. The question is, in the world of language, of Lashon, Yad can make all Lashon. Do we learn from the Dorim? Oh no, the Dorim is Meyuchah. Im ken if so. Even if we say in the world of language and the din of Loshoin, there's no yad Kiddushin. Nami mehani Kiddushin still should work by Kiddushin. Why? The lechol apocho is at least ave kemoy diberim alis Kiddushin, as if he spoke to her on the business of Kiddushin. Since by Kiddushin I don't need language, I need to know what he meant, what he means, what is his das, what is kavanah. So, okay, if the yad moichiach doesn't work mitzad language, but since it's moichiach, you know definitely my intention, so my intention alone can make it. So I don't need words. Like diberim is Kiddushin works by umdana. So what I care if there's a din yad or don't din yad? Okay, even if there's no din yad, but Kiddushin doesn't need words, needs umdana. Umdana if it doesn't work, so you have umdana, let it works. Yes. You would watch your girlfriend getting married.
And we know that he means he wants her to get married to her. So what's the
At chazai means that he definitely know that I want her to get married, but the language is not moichiach for that. Another possibility, although that possibility is a far out possibility, but in the world of language is not cut. In the word intention, definitely know what I mean. That's my understanding.
In the context.
Yes,
Context,
we definitely know that's what I mean. But in the words, if I take the words without the context, the word itself is not clear. So since I need words by Nedorim, and I learn Kiddushin by Nedorim, also I need also here Dibur Po. Even Yad Moichia, but it's not Dibur Po. It's not Dibur Shemashmo. It's a Kol Ha'am Kinyan Shebeliboy.
God would be the God of praise you can use the context.
Yes, and Dibur Sholem means that the Dibur has that the Kol Ha'am, all the nation understands what, through the Dibur what my heart means.
Always your heart and your mouth are connected.
Has to be connected.
You do it if you don't finish the word and the condition or the ads, they are like it's the same, like both.
You know his heart. The heart you know, but Dibur you don't have. Or Dibur we have a suffix with it. Such a Dibur works on that.
He married with both, or he wants to make.
Marry one, another one should watch.
So, yeah, what is the meaning of that? ¿Cómo te dice cuando es testigo? Edim. No, en inglés.
So they didn't know what I want. They didn't know my intentions to get married.
Second woman is the witness.
No, no, to watch.
But
Come to the engagement to watch.
we need a man, a woman, and two.
Adim is not the woman is not Adim. The woman is not a witness. She's there to watch. People come to see. You went to see Matthias.
Yeah.
People came to watch.
Yeah.
That means come watch you and you watch. Safek in the language is not clear. Okay.
She need a
Safek it. Safek. The one is a safek.
She need to get
Safek.
a second one.
The Tiretz Moiri Berab is a Chusu Yogalinomi. Let's see clearly what the Reb Chaim Levi answer. There's a lot of steps here. We have to go through it very clear and very, very medukduk. The Tiretz Moiri Berab is a Chusu Yogalinomi. Comes Reb Chaim Levi and he answers. The Mizeh Muchach, from this question you can prove the min loshon shekiddushin, that from the language of Kiddushin, lo avdinan anon, we don't make ourselves we don't make umdana. We don't make umdana. From language of Kiddushin, we don't make umdana. Umdana estimation. Assumption, estimation. No, umdana is not in Yiddish. Umdana is Jewish. Umdana is Hebrew. Hebrew, and really it's Aramaic. Umdana. La'amod da'ato. Ubiu dvarav. And to explain my Rebbe's words. Akdoishim. The holy words of him. The Kiddushin, by Kiddushin, by Inan Amiru, we need to say, we need to speak. Now, this is not a really true statement. Later on, we see it doesn't mean we need Amira, but we need Amira, whatever it means. So Ba'ina amira, we need amira migzera sakosu from the decree of the Torah Chiyikar. Torah says Kikar, he needs to take her. The ba'ina nosanu v'omaru, he needs to give, he needs to say. Ubiu achzera sakosu, the explanation of this decree of the Torah. The Gabi Kiddushin, by Kiddushin, Mad Beinan Das Abal, that we need the acknowledgement, the intention of the husband. Ein Zerak is not only Mishum Din Kinyan, it's not only from the law of acquisition. Like when we need an acquisition of buying and selling, you need Das, Mishum Chaloy Sakin, you need the knowledge of the buyer and the seller to make the effect of the law of the acquisition. Or rather, the milvad din das asoskinu kebeshakin, besides the knowledge and the intention of the making the acquisition, like the other acquisition all over the Torah. The binan das comes with. Then we need the intention, the knowledge and the intention of the buyer. Ba'inan basei here in Kiddushin we need here the atot the baal. We need the intention of the husband. Bichdei sheyemai sekicha. In order there will be an action of taking. The calls man in all time, the leikadaito, as long as I don't have his intention, his knowledge, intention, and kan maasekicha, there's no action of maaseh kiddush, there's no action of kiddushin. I mistaken my words and I changed. I said by heart words, it doesn't say. It says, en kan maaseh kiddush, I don't have an action of kiddushin. We want to explain this thing in length. What is he saying here? 1 second. There's a lot of steps here. You have to follow exactly what he says. He says, Rabbi Chaim Alevi said that from language of Kiddushin, we cannot ekum them. What does that mean? Since by Kiddushin needs a language of Kicha. So we can not make an umdana. He didn't explain why yet. First, when he means what it means, language of Kiddushin. And then he says he cannot make umdana. But we didn't explain why we cannot make umdana and what's the limit in umdana in language. If you need language, how umdana works. Those things we'll explain in the next paragraph. Again, 1 second. The first step of Chaim Alevi, the Bikar Shmuel explains. Now, what does it mean from the language of Kiddushin? We don't umdana. First, he has to tell you there is a concept of language of Kiddushin. Although by Netorim, there we need levata b'zosayim, the words, and words makes the chalois. By Kiddushin, the words don't make the chalois. You need an amira to make kicha, to make maaseh kicha of Kiddushin. Besides, you need an amira, and amira represents the das and the kavanah. Amira, wait a second. Amira represents, speaking represents my knowledge and my intention, the one who speaks. Right. Bitus Hasayim, the lips makes it. By Kiddushin, the das and the kavone of the Baal makes the maaseh. But you need the amira of the Baal to reveal his intention, his knowledge and intention, das and kavana, and you need the amira to come from him. He has to be amira didei. He has to be his amira. So that's why you need amira, not mitzad only to reveal intention, knowledge and intention of the buyer and seller, like all kinyonim. You need amira to reveal the intention and the knowledge of the husband making a maaseh kicha. And he's the one that's making, and he's amira didei, in his amira. The revelations to come through him.
I could just say that it's revealing his God, but it has to be through words and not through umdana.
That's not true, because we know umdana works. That's why I'm running away from that. I know. So that's why I said he's not explaining what is umdana. He's saying that when the Kiddush needs amira, amira doesn't mean amira like bitus v'sayim, like beneder. Amira is only a way to reveal my das and my kavana. But not only das and kavana of kinyonim kol haTorah kulo, Rather, also das and kavana of kiddushin. Now, das and kavan kiddushin das dinim. That's the bi'amiri didei, didei. That's the next place. But now he says he needed amira to reveal two things. Normally, the classic amira by kinyonim, the amira is there to reveal the knowledge, the knowledge and the intention of the buyer and the seller. That's what amira does by kinyonim. By kiddushin, it's not only revealing the knowledge and the intention of the buyer, which is the husband, and the seller, which is the woman. No, it's not only that. It's also revealing the knowledge and the intention of the one who takes, which is the husband that does Maseches of Kiddushin. Now, what does that mean? Since you have two things, two layers here, each one has different dinim. I will show you veraylos. I will show you. We're going to bring a raya that each one that has different dinim. The knowledge and the intention of a buyer and a seller can come through even an outsider situation, reality, circumstances, but by the knowledge and the intention of the husband as a dinim of kicha that it needs to come from him. And that's since we see that, we see it's not the same din of the knowledge and intention of kinyonim, because knowledge and intention kinyonim can come from the circumstances, from somebody else, reality. He has different din, like we'll see in a second. Must be that is another layer, that when the husband speaks by Kiddushin, it's not only to reveal the das, the intention, the knowledge and intention of the buyer and seller as a Masekiyim. It also it's another level of Masekicha, which has his own dinim, which we'll prove in a second. V'raylo said, the proof of this is b'sefer Toras Gitin Nekusim Kuvam Aleph. So we found it inside. We found it in the Toras Gitin. Toras Gitin Simen Kuvam Aleph. Shkoyach Miyu Reb Shloime. Simen Kuvam Aleph Sif Koton Samach. You don't need that.
The first page.
No, I don't need the first page. Towards there. And Simen Samach. There he says clearly, and I'm reading the language of Toras Gitin inside. What? No, we didn't print it out to nobody. It's only by me. I'm just reading you the point and read after inside. It's almost the same. It's almost the same language that is in the Birkas Shmuel, but I'm reading from inside of the Toras Gitin to see that he says the same thing, or to check it up. He's really saying the same thing. Okay. Mikol mokom niri li ad kan al mi boilon ela bekiddushin. Ve'eina dechashivi osom. Only by kiddushin and by peya and by kiddushin, peya, girushin, kiddushin, girushin, and peya and tzedakah, 4 things. Only of those things. The Gemara has a doubt if yad works or not. Do bechol mokoim echet yikum dama demurach man dorishim aleim afilu goyil das loy boi kimo shkosates kamaduchti. Any places where there's umdana the muchach dvorim shelo works. So we didn't have a shaila if there's yad or not. Only of those 4 things, which is kiddushin, girushin, peya, and stuff. Only there we have a shaila if yad or not. Why comes in the Sivas and he says, because anywhere else, I don't need yad. I have umdana. Nundana works. Dal ma'ochadin yad. I have umdana. However, ubekidushin ubegirushin, afilu ika umdana demuchach tuva. By kiddush girushin, even though I have a clear umdana demuchach good, loy mehani adi kedibu. It doesn't help until there's a dibu. I don't add dibu didei. That's the biggest one. His dibu. We'll see in this. What's the proof? The benosnoi, when she gives, v'omar, when he speaks, when she gives and he speaks, and he speaks and he receives from her, by an important person, when he receives and he speaks, works. When she gave through his speaking, however, if he gave and she spoke, and Mekudeshes. The Kiddushin we see דיבור בהינון ולא בהין ולא מהני אומדן נמוכח. וכך בו יוסם ביד מויחיח. That's what he says. He says since when she speaks and he gives, even though he says yes or he says hey, it doesn't work. Even though you have umdana muchach, because the muchach came from his speech, so he doesn't have a ma'asekiche. One said that's a kika, right? But he's saying although umdana works, but if the umdana comes through his speech or through his action, it works. But if the umdana comes from her words, even though you have a clear umdana muchach, doesn't work. That's why we have a suffix. So therefore, you need his dibur. So have a shayle in the world of his dibur, yesh yad or not.
Only is done in a sidoka is a problem.
Yes.
But chutz with that, everything works.
Yeah, but the point is, we see from there. So really, the Teras Gitin and the Rabbi Kiva all said this, both say the same thing. Then let's see again what they said inside the words. I'm reading in the Birkas Shmuel. Yes. נכון. אומרים, שם כתוב. לא, אבל למה? לא, זה לא. כתוב שאם האישה אומרת, אני רוצה להתקדש לך, זה לא מועיל. צריך שהיא אומר, אתה תקדש אותי. אז הוא צריך לקחת אותה. השאלה היא, האם אומדנה מועיל? כתוב עסוקים באותו עניין, אומדנה מועיל. אז יש פה סתירה בעיה בהבנה. האם אומדנה מועיל או צריך לשון? זה אנחנו יכולים להסביר.
לא, יש יד של קידושין אם יש אומדנה, כמו הנזיר של עניין של הרמב"ם.
נכון.
אם יש אומדנה, היד של קידוש די טוב.
לא, רק בנדרים ונזיר, שיש חידוש בתורה, יש גילוי שיד מועיל, אז אם יש יד מוכיח בגלל הסיטואשן, אז יד מועיל, כי יש פסוק שיד מועיל. אבל בקידושין, אנחנו לא יודעים אם בדין לשון קידושין עם יד מועיל. למה? כי שם הדיבור בקידוש הוא לא כך חשוב כמו בנדרים ונדרים ונזירות, ששם יש דין לבטא בשפתיים, שהדיבור הוא זה שעושה את זה. הדיבור שם חזק, אז פה לא יודעים אם יש דין דיבור ביד. נו. נכון. אבל כיוון שהוא משתמש עם לשון, זה אנחנו יכולים להסביר. זה אנחנו יכולים להסביר היום. בעזרת השם היום, שאם לא תבין היום בסוף היום, אז אני בבעיה גדולה. בואו נמשיך. Let's read it inside. Please focus inside. You must go through the steps that it said. There's a chap here. It's a big chap of the Birkas Shmuel, and a lot of people go around about, they don't know the exact meaning what the Birkas Shmuel is saying. Let's see exactly what he says. Birkas Shmuel, I always said, Birkas Shmuel, he wrote it when he was 80 years old. 80. After he was a Rosh Hashiva 50, 60 years, and he said Shiurim, then he wrote Birkas Shmuel. So it's very deep. First of all, in Jenny was a deep rabbi, very deep. But he has a whole world behind when he says everything is every word he says is a whole world that he worked on and he proved it in the whole Shas. It's a very serious book. The Midichazinon, since we see, I'm reading the third line in the fourth paragraph. The Midichazinon, since we see, the when he speaks and he receives from her, important person, Mekudeshes is important, she Mekudeshes. Why? Because when he speaks and he receives from her, he's an important person as if he speaks and he gives her. Because an important person receives from you a gift, it's like it gives you a pleasure, as a favor, you agree to accept the gift. if President Trump accepts from you a gift, you're honored, right? He really gave you some honor, a value of Pruto. So therefore, Choshu Mekudeshes, she's a Mekudeshes. The Baal Kochot Tzorch Lo Emar, by definition, we need to say, the Kshenosna de Amir, when she gives through his speech, Amir Didei, his speeching, the word Didei should be underlined. Al the Amir Didei, Anan Sahade, we are witnesses, and it's right to see that she agreed. Uvenos Anu Vomroi, but when he gives and she speaks, so he's giving upon her speech. Ain't Mekudesh, she's not Mekudeshes. Avangab, even though the Vada and Ansadi, even though for sure we are witnesses, then he sratza that he agreed. Since he gave her speech, and like he had David Shaul, there's Corazon law, everybody knows that they want, she's speaking, he give. As Vada, he know for sure he wants. Avagav the Vada and Ansadi, even though it's for sure an Ansadi, then he sratza that he agreed, that he wants. Since he gave her through a speech. And more of that, even when he said yes, he said yes to her speech. Again, she spoke and he gave, and he said yes to her. She says, I want you to mekadesh me. And he gave, and he says yes, and he gives her money. He said yes, and he gives her money. But she initiated the husband, the man. Afal Gav, even what? Yes, Dibur, yes, Kinyan, yes, Kesef, Shakol. Afal Gav, even though Delechomdana, Mochiach Yosem is even there's no greater estimation or proof more than this. The Adin al Ritzu, know clearly his wishes, his will. Hello, you know why it doesn't work? What really is asking before we give the answer? Half the answer is to understand the problem. Listen careful. What's really asking? He's asking what makes the Kiddushin? The will and the wish of the husband or the words? By Netorim and by Nezirus, the words makes it. So they made the words with his heart. He said words right out of the Shaila. Okay, so you need words that reveals your heart. So what does it? The heart, the words. But by Kiddushin, the words doesn't do it. The heart does it. The Corazon, what do we see? Because when he says and she gives him and he receives Anam Choshuv, as if he gave, how do I know that he agreed to give it to her by him receiving? It's umdana. Or medaberi ma'is kiddushel. When they speak of the business of Kiddushin, how does it work? Because there's umdana. So we see what makes the Kiddushin is umdana, estimation. So why when she speaks and he gives and he says yes and he gives upon her speech, it doesn't work? You have umdana makes it. Like by Asukim, like be'nos ba'omahu, ve'nos no'ir works. So why here it doesn't work? That's the question. And the answer is, this is what he answers. Yes, yeah, man, what's your problem?
I agree to use the umdana here. But the umdana comes after the sin as a problem with umdana.
Why?
I'll tell you my question.
Why?
When you give the Maisa,
The same moment. Let's say, I'll tell you exactly the case. She says, "Tekadesh oti, arei ata mekadesh oti," and he said yes, and then he gave the money. The husband.
again.
She says, "Arei ata mekadesh oti." Omar beseder, אני רוצה שתקדש אותי, Omar beseder. He says, hang, and he gives the money. What's to be the din? No. No.
He said yes.
No. Doesn't matter. Before a while, it doesn't help. No, it doesn't work. No.
And this is like I got to put that shit.
No.
בגלל שהאיש לוקח את האישה
When does it work when the umdana comes after? But if you
This
said,
is your explanation. It's not true. Why?
If he said hand,
Yes.
so basically in his hand, he said,
Good.
She's married.
There's a svara like that. Other people argue on the Rosh and they say when he said hen, he's not on his own. We don't look about the history. But the Rosh says no, we look about the history. Since his hen came up by her initiation, it's her, ain't about her words. Let's say this where it says Elo. The Bachita Sarosh, the Machlekes. Yes, what's the chok? Correct. Correct. Lo abal, yes. Oh. Kicha. Right. 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 Elo. I'm continuing to read the words inside. Elo. The Kiddushin ba'inon. Kiddushin we need. There'll be a proof in his words. Doesn't will be proof in his words. Or b'ma'asav, or in his actions. Gabei didei. Should make to a line under the word gabei didei. By him. This is the point. Really, what makes the Kiddushin is the das, the knowledge and the intention of the husband. Same knowledge and intention of all koine and makna of kinyonim. Also here, what does the kicha is the knowledge and intention of the baal that takes her in the woman's das that she wants to be taken. The das what makes it, and even umder will produce it. Umder will produce it. Words will produce it. However, has to be words gabei didei and ma'asav gabei didei. Has to be words from him, by him, and action by him, not her. If she's the initiation and you're just following her speaking, her dancing, her flute, she's dancing onto her flute, has to do with her, not him. He has to take her, which means what really does it is intention. The intention, the kavanah and the das, what makes the kiddushin. You give kesef, you give a physical kesef shtar, you do a maaseh, and you need the intention of the buyer and the seller for two intention, two in knowledge and intention. One is mitzad all kinyonim of kol kula. Number two, you need the husband's intention and knowledge from the law of kicha. What is that intention will be revealed from him. That the dibur and the ichoche gabei didei has to come by him, from him. He has to be the initiator. So if he speaks before to her, then he gives to her, so that the umdana came from him. If he speaks to her and he receives from her money, so then the knowledge comes from him. The umdana comes from him. But when she speaks, and he gives upon her speaks, and he says hen yes to her speak. Machlokas Rishonim if the hen is considered himself or not. No, the Rosh. The Rosh says even if he says hen, it's only hen. He didn't say Haram Kodesh, he wasn't the initiator. He's part of her world. So she's taking, not him. So you don't have das, the kavana of kicha from him, gabei didei. So really, there's no din dibur in Kiddushin. That's only when it's din dibur by Nasir and by Neder. That's in Levat Messiah. The dibur makes it. Here is the kavana, the das, and the kavana of the husband, and the isha makes the kinyan, and the kavana and the das of the husband means the ma'asekich, and the different afkamina is that das and that umdana has to come from him. Yeah. By Girushin, let's go a little bit, jump a little bit Girushin. The Ritva says by Girushin, you need das of the husband, and you need kavon of the husband to make some ma'asekinyan of Girushin, and not only ma'asekinyan of shtar, kolo, ma'asekinyan of v'shilcha, but you don't need her das, because by Girushin, I don't know her das, but he needs his. And that das has to come from him. Same thing. There's no difference. I have to do it. It has to be gabei didei. Right, gabei didei. Has to be by him. Yes.
מה קורה כאילו האיש רוצה להתחתן איתה, אבל היא יודעת שהוא איש חשוב,
נו,
היא היה כאילו בלחץ, וואו, היא שמחה, ויצא לה כאילו דבר. יצא לה, הייתה מקודשת לי, כאילו בגלל שהיה במצב התרגשות.
right?
ולמה לא?
לא זה, הוא צריך סתם, בואו נעשה, הוא צריך להגיד רק רגע. One second, he says, רק רגע, you're not the boss here, now I'm gonna be the boss, and I'm taking. אז הסברנו, ראינו את המאירי, we saw the meaning, the intention of the rabbis, or the Torah wanted the husband to be the balabait in order to have a very healthy, balanced relationship in the marriage later on. That he's the taking, she's the receiving, as we explained in length 4 weeks ago.
As always, the girl must be בשקט.
Yes, yes, yes.
בגלל לא בשקט, אם לא...
So it would be a problem in the marriage. Yes. Let's get you a little bit more.
It's the action, not the result.
What?
The act, he's learning it's in the action, not the result.
Which action? Giving of the money. Giving of the money. Giving of the money is the action. And then what the das and the kavana makes the chalois kinyan, and the das of the kavana that comes from the husband, makes the maisekich.
The mice result. Rabbi, you said you have to bring a raya whether the
Das is the maise.
But maybe it's the result. Maybe the result is the musag is in the result and not the action. He's learning it's in the action. It could be
No, opposite. He's learning the result. The das. How do you define result and action? Das and kavana of the husband is result.
That's not the thing itself. That's only a halik of the thing, not the thing itself.
Okay, so you call it chelik. You like to call it chelik, call it chelik.
Yeah, but it is. That's what it is. It's not the thing itself.
I don't know.
But
Because it's a chelik of the thing itself, becomes the thing itself.
That's the meat.
Yeah, good. I'm not so sure.
So
Okay, but we're not involved. It's chelik or part and makes it a part of it. It's not our question. Our question is what about umdana? Since by Kiddushin umdana works, so what I have to come on to Dibu if she speak. Okay, she spoke. And says, you're right, umdana works, but umdana has to come from him. And if Dibu starts from her, so his speech is wrong. I have an umdana. Oh, so that's when we come on to this question here. We didn't yet answer, 1 second. We didn't yet answer, listen careful. We didn't yet answer the fundamental question here. The Reb Chaim Levi's question was, forget about language, just use umdana. So he said no. First of all, he said we need language. And language means, you don't need language for the sake of language. Not that language does it. The language has to mean, the language has to reveal his das and his kavana. And that's what makes the Kiddushin, the das and kavana, but our knowledge that he has das and kavana, he has to reveal through speech or through maisi. But he is as a maisi kabedite, has to be a dibu or a maisi by him, through him, has to come from him. That's what makes the maisekich of Kiddushin. But really what makes it is the das and kavana of maisekicha, like das and kavana of the maisekinyan. Just that maisekicha tells you that has to come from kabedite. The amira or the maisa that proves the das and kavana through umdana has to be kabedite. That's all good. But we didn't yet answer another very fundamental question. Dal me'ocha, remove away, that is not coming from him, but you have the result of umdana. The answer is no. The result is not enough. It has to come from him. If it was like a normal kinyonin, if the das was only like kinyan das of chalois, das of kanov chalois for kinyan, so it's the result. As long as I have the result, I don't care how. But if there's a din in kicha that has to come kabetite, he's the one that needs to reveal it. So if he didn't reveal it, even though you have the result, doesn't help. If the revelation came through her, not through him, that wouldn't help in my sekich.
Because he's revealing when she says that when he says back there is a revelation of how he's relating what she said.
Again, repeat.
If she says it and he says Hain, so he's revealing his das in terms of what she said, but it's still his das.
That was Reb Shlomo's question. I said, you're right, you can say like this, and there's somebody showing him that argues only the Rosh. That's why he brought the Rosh as the extreme. But even without the Rosh, he didn't say Hain, it won't work. Even if he didn't say Hain, and it's a machlokes if it's considered under her or he's on his own. But forget about the hand. Let's say he didn't say hand. She said and he gave. in his hand. You still have an umdana, and still doesn't work. He went to the extreme, even according to the Rosh Hashanah, you have a triple Eichocha, it's clear 100%. Yet, since initiation came from him, it's not my city days, my city da, there's her actions, wouldn't work. Yes, Rabbi.
That's a big enough to biggest story.
Yes.
What is the biggest story? We see in all the Torah Kulo. Let's give an example. Omed al Gabo.
Yes.
Omed al Gabo only can help you only das, not kavod.
Yes.
You see, because das always the double clothing. But in kavod, let's say for separate level, and in kavod lishmo.
Yes.
So Omed al Gabo will not make it.
Yes.
Why? Because in das has the kavod.
For me.
Maybe they need kavono, so they need kavono, so they need the person himself to do it.
Right.
Right,
but here we have, Rabbi.
Here we both.
Here we have kavana.
No,
Here you have kavana. But no, you have kavana. You have his kavana. When she speaks, you know his kavana. Yes, you have his kavana. But the revelation, who told us about this kavana, or who aroused this kavana was her. So it's not Maisik Abedi Day, it's not Tibur Day, Maisik Day. It's Chison Kiika. Come from it. Even though you have his kavanah, it's not enough. He has to create it. We have to know from him that that's what happened, not from somebody else. Yes, Rabbi Yosef. You're right. That's in Kenyan. Here's more than that. The more that you need kavanah and das of the koine. But the revelation, הגילוי לדס, דרך הדיבור, או דרך המייסים צריך לבוא ממנו, הוא צריך לגלות עליו.
Das is one stage.
Knowledge, ידיעה.
Kavona is what?
He wants that will take effect.
What's the stage? What's it? So that's the das.
Das means knowing, das, no. Das means he knows about it.
He knows the general.
He knows what's going on. Kavona means he wants to make it happen. He wants the law to take an effect. Now, it's by normal kinyonim, das, and kavona you have. It works. By Kiddushin, it's not enough that the husband knows about it and he has intention. He needs to do an action through speech or through actions. אבל הוא צריך לעשות את זה. גבי דידי. זה הנקודה. ואז גבי דידי, אז זה צריך להיות הדיבור שלו, לא שהיא מתחילה לדבר. לא צריך יוזמה שלה, יוזמה שלו. זה מה שכתוב. הדיבור והמייסים שמגלים את הדעת ואת הכוונה שלו צריך יוזמה שלו שיבוא ממנו. לגבי דידי. Now let's continue on. A little bit more, guys. So there's a few more steps here. The Abiru, I'm reading 4 lines from the bottom and the right column. The Abiru, the explanation is, the Milvad Dinadas, I'm reading the Birkas Shmuel 4 lines on the bottom and the right column. The Abiru, the explanation is, the explanation. The Milvad Dinadas, besides the law of Das, the Ba'ina that we need, Mishum Kinyon, because of an acquisition. Ba'ina nochot Das, here we need Das. Bichdei Shia Maisa Kiddushin, in order to be an action of Kiddushin. Here we have a decree. Shelo Yemaisa Kiddushin B'dato Shel Ba'al Echud. It will not be Kiddushin with the husband's knowledge alone. It has to be his Maisa. Has to initiate, he needs to initiate. Maisa Kicha Dite. That's the point. Not Maisa Kicha Dite. His Maisa Kicha. This is the language of the Ritva. The Ritva said by Kiddushin. Girushin is the same. Mitzad Das of the husband. The Das of the woman is different. Girushin doesn't need. Kiddushin needs the Das of woman. But the Das of the husband, Girushin and Kiddushin both is the same Shala. Yes, Yad or Enyan. So he's saying what's there? We need the Ritva says there. Do we need a proof from his speech or from his actions? The proof has to come from his action, or from his speech.
Is there two things happening? Das and Achocho?
No, Da'achocho is the same thing. Das is knowledge.
It's really one thing happening. The Maseches as it is called Kinyan.
Yes,
Maseches is called Kinyan. One Maseches.
yes, that I agree. That I agree. But the Maseches has a Tanai, as a Din, that the Oichoch has to come from him, has to be his Oichoch, as his Tipur. Tipuroi, Ma'asov. Good. Valkein, therefore. We saw the Ritvo inside. It says, "Do you need the Oichoch b'Diburo b'Maisov?" That's exactly the language. It's a quote from the Ritvo. Valkein. I know. So I said, "Giti Kiddushin is the same," and it's not the husband. That's what I added. Valkein, therefore. I'm reading second line in the left column, second line from the top. The Alkein. Therefore, the decree of Torah comes. The lake Masekicha, the Kiddushin Elo, I don't have an action of taking a Kiddushin only in Yeshdavko Ichocha B'Diburo B'Maisa. When I have specifically approved from his words or from his actions, it's not enough that we can estimate his knowledge. If I estimate his knowledge, it's not enough. It has to come that he is the one that revealing for us his estimation. In order to be taking of Kiddushin, we need to have in front of us a proof of his knowledge through his speaking. They came in Amira Didei since his speaking. It's a law of decree of the Torah. If the result, what I need his. By Kinyonim, I need a result. I need to know his knowledge. Here, the Amira and the Maisim just to prove his reality. So the reality, I don't care how it comes from. But no, he needs to do it. Amira Didei, Maisev Didei. Only through that I have an action of Kiddushin that he takes her. Nimtza the Amira, this is the punchline. Comes out, the conclusion of this is being found. The Amira of the Sinas Kesef Shneyen, the speaking and the giving of the money, both of them. You hear, Rabbi? Both of them. Avumaisa Akicho ve'akin Kiddushin is the action of the taking and acquisition of Kiddushin. Stop. Yes, he puts it together. Yes. He says, comes out that the Amira, the speak, and in the scene of the Kesef, both of them makes Maise and Kiddushin. Now, that doesn't mean the Amira, one second, doesn't mean the Amira in its hefts of Amira makes the Kiddushin. That's only by Neder. By Neder, the Levata B'Sotzaim, the taking of your lips, the cutting of your lips makes the words, makes the Neder and the Nozir. No. The Amira doesn't make it. The Amira just revelation is hard. The heart makes it. The Das and Kavanah makes it. But there's a special added thing by Kiddushin that the Das and the Kavanah needs to be revealed through your Amira, through your Maisi. But what does the Kinyan?
Over there.
Is the Nesinas HaKesef and the Das that is revealed from him through his Amira makes it. Yes, Rabbi, once again, Rabbi Bell.
Say that the Das is part of the Meister Kiddushin, therefore we may that it has to come from him. Because it says Yikach, that means that he has to do the Meister Kiddushin. Now we're Machadish that the Das is not a quality, but it's part of the Meister Kiddushin, we may that he has to do it. It has to come from him.
Because it says Kicha.
Right.
Okay, good.
I want to say this. He said the difference. The Lashon says
Yes.
and Yachin B'nah. And two Lashon here. Dafka is Chochom with the Chochom.
Oichocha could be Asukim Boisinyo. Idabir is Gedusha. That's Oichocha B'Maisa works. Oichocha can work, but he has to do the Oichocha, and the Oichocha has to come through him, through his Maisa.
You see, if in the Lashon of the Beit HaShmuel, you see, if you have a Chochom from the Dibur of Maisa, it works. But if you have Umdana means to say it's not a Chochom. Umdana means we sin is not from him, it's from us.
Right.
No, we make the Umdana.
Once you're right, but that's the next stage. That's the next stage. Not the next stage. One second.
But you still have
The next stage, and we have to explain.
The next stage, he said, if you're going to die, the last words he said, you have two Kenyans. He said the lesson Kenyanistic, Kenyanet.
Right. Kinyan Kol HaTorah Kula, and Maisekicha והקניין לקידושין. מעשה kicha והקניין, yes. מעשה kicha והקניין קידושין comes from נסינת הכסף והאמירה. His אמירה, yes. שאדם לא יחזור בו, שזה יהיה רציני, שיהיה חלויס. כן. העדים הם לראיה, תמיד לא יבוסד אלא לשקר. עדים נבראו רק לשקרנים. בקידושין, בגלל שהיא אסורה לקרובים, וזה עושה הרבה לאנשים בעיות, מי עכשיו לא יחתן עם מישהו אחר, מי שיחיה איתה צריך למות, אשת איש. אז לכן העדים הם לא רק לא של שקרנים, העדים הם חלק מהחלות של הדין. בלעדיהם, אם הם לא רואים, אין חלות דין. לא חל דין שהיא אסורה לכל העולם והיא אשת איש. קורקט, ודאי. אומדנה או ראייה, בעין, שומעים, רואים, כן. יד זה רק בין הבעל לאישה שהם מדברים. העדים הם רק רואים, הם רק הראייה מקיימת, אבל הם לא חלק מהמעשה. כן, I ring. הם רואים לפי מה שעכשיו הם מבינים עכשיו. הם צריכים להבין שהוא אמר לקידושין ורואים שנתן לה כסף, זה הכל. אבל הראייה שלה הם לא ראייה לשקר, הם ראייה שהם מקיימים את הקניין, על ידם בך, הם חלק מה שעושה את הקניין, קוראים לזה משולש, משולש ברמודה, משולש, the triangle. The triangle is בעל, אישה ועדים, זה עושה את החלום.
פה זה לא קורה פה את זה. פה קורה שיש אישה, איש.
לא, פה זה לא קורה, כי אם היא דיברה והוא נתן, זה לא קורה. Good. Let's continue on a little bit more. We have a few more points, very important, tricky points here. So you must be focused. Siyata Dishmai.
He didn't talk about money. Only Peter was talking about money.
1 second. Where we stop? 1 second. I lost the place. Oh, now for Alkane, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lines on the top. The Alkane, therefore, 9 lines from the top of the left column. Valkane, therefore, we need to have his intention. La soy sa'amira. You need the husband's intention to make the speech l'shem kinyan for the sake of an acquisition. Kemo de ba'inan kavanosoi lekinyan be'inyan nesinas hakesef. The same way you need the husband's intention when he's giving the money, he also needs to have intention when he speaks, because the speaking is also part of it. It's a chelik. What happens if he has the intention to acquire through Chalipin? Chalipin is not a good acquisition. He says the proper words, but his intention is that the kinyan will be through kinyan Chalipin. And we know the law is kinyan Chalipin doesn't work by Isha. You cannot buy a woman by Chalipin, only by Kesef, B and Shtar. Ein mekudeshes. She's not mekudeshes. Again, he gives her a coin, but the sake of the coin is not for the sake of Kesef, for the sake of kinyan Chalipin. Afal pi sheyesh b'ze gam Kesef. Even though every coin has money in it, but his intention is not money, is Chalipin won't work, which means you need to have 2 kavanos. One kavanah is that the Kesef would work as Kesef, and not Chalipin. So you have to have kavanah that the Kesef will do the pa'ula, the work of the proper acquisition, which is Kesef, not Chalipin. So you have double vifuch, means you have to have kavanah for A, not for B. Number 2, you have to have kavanah when you speak, that the amira is A and not B. The amira means the umdana comes through you. So you have to have kavanah in the nesinas hakesef that is Kesef, not Chalipin. You have to have kavanah that you speak is making the ma'asekicha. 2 kavanahs. And if you don't have kavanah by nesinas hakesef, that will be for the sake of kesef rather than Chalipin. When a ger dies, a convert dies, and somebody's turning over his land, and he thinks that it belongs to the ger. He thinks the ger is still alive. He's not thinking to acquire the land through that. It doesn't work. Because in order for the action of chazokah to work, you have to have kavanah for that action to work. If you have kavanah not for an action, just to turn over the land for the sake of them taking care of the land of the master, you think the master is alive, you don't have an intention that this turning over the land is to acquire for yourself. It won't work. You have to have an active intention that the money, the maisa money is giving for kesef and not for chalipi. For an acquisition and not for just turning over the land. Same thing also, you have to have kavanah and amira. That the amira means, the amira doesn't mean when I speak, so just a revelation of my heart and my heart does it. My intention of my heart and my knowledge of my heart, that word, my knowledge of my mind does it. Words is not only a revelation of my heart and my mind, my intention, my das. No, it's more than that. My words are the ones that revealing my heart. And I need through my words to reveal. My words to reveal. So I have my intention that my words are revealing that. And my words are revealing it's part of my sekicha. So I have a kavanah, there's also part of the kicha. The same way that I have the kavanah when I'm giving the money. I have kavanah, the money's making the my sekicha in the kinyan. And it's not chalipin, and it's not just turning over the land, it's a kinyan. Same thing is, I have to know that my speech, it is my speech, because it's my speech, therefore my knowledge can produce kich of kiddushin. Just stam kich of kiddushin that I want to marry her, my will that I want to marry her, and my knowledge, my kavanah and my das, I want to marry her, is not enough. You need to have an amira. You need to have my speech to reveal my knowledge and my intention. You need my action. And since you need my action, my speech, I have to have come on. And when I speak, that's what I'm doing. I have to be aware, an intention that I'm aware that my words are doing it. And it's part of what's doing. It's part of the ma'asekich. It's not only giving. I have to have, when I give the money, I have to have kavanah that the money is doing not chalipi, the money is doing not turning over. I'm doing a kinyan with the giving of the money is a ma'asekich. An active kavanah I'm doing it through the giving of the money. I'm doing a ma'asekich, kich of kiddushin. Also the amira, since the amira is revealing my das, and amira is an integral way that I need to reveal it, and my ma'aseh need to reveal my das, and my revelation is what makes it happen. My revelation, my amira, is the one that allows my knowledge to work for kiddushin. So that be aware and intention that when I speak, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it by my sekinah. My amira, la 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 la. La 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 Let's continue on. Yes. Yes, עברית, speak. כן. נכון.
אז היא אומרת, אתה מקודשת לי.
לא טוב, לא טוב. לא טוב. כן. לא, זה יהיה לפיקדון, הוא צריך להחזיר לו. Return, how will we return? Retorno, she has to give it back. Okay, let's continue on. Shh, guys. I'm reading 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 lines from the beginning of this column on the left column. Ochenami legabe amira, the same way reference to amira. The kavan, and since the kavanosu lekadesh, since my intention is to marry this girl, how? Alidea loshon gufo, through the body of the language, which means I want that my revelation, the mind, the me, the my kicha, will come through the body of my speech. And velalia data, I don't want that my part of my kicha, I don't want it to happen through not because I spoke to her before on this Kiddushin. So therefore, this is the punchline my Rabbi said. doesn't apply to say shetiskada that she will be engaged alidei my shetiberim or kis kiddushin. Why? Again, what was the question? When he says va'at, forget about if yesh yad bekidush, do I learn yad of kiddushin from the dorim or not in the world of language? Forget about I have an umdana. Says no. Since the dibur has to be my dibur, the revelation of my das and my kavon of kich has to be through my dibur, and I chose that, and I have to have an active intention. The same when I give money, I have to have an active intention. This money is making my sekinyan kesef and not chalipin and not oide ben ichsager, not sistam and my sekinyan. I have to have an active kavanah. The same way I need an active kavanah that my dibur is doing the revelation. Since I need to have this, the punchline of the whole Bika Shmuel. Since he need an active kavanah for the amira, that is my amira that's creating the eichacha. So it's like shaykh loima. He can't say anymore that forget about my words, I have umdana. But it's not my active intention. Because my active intention was A, not for B. I'm an active intention that the amira will do my sekicha. And not an active intention that my umdana will do it. Oh, that's why he's very shy, he says. Doesn't apply. But not in the bull game. One second. I lost the line. Agreeing back again from the 13 lines. The same way by Amira became the Kavanosule Kadesh Daloshon Gufoi, since my active intention is to Mekadesh through the language itself, the law and not to the Dishti, he's going to share not through Umdana, I am through my actions. Lo Shaykh Loima doesn't apply to say Shetiskada should be engaged at a day that he spoke about Kiddushin before. Domatzioma, because he could have said, Ani lo kivanti, it wasn't an active intention, lekachoch, to engage you, al de umdana, through the umdana shel diberim as gedusha, in baloshin. Al kain, therefore, so ich she etzam aloshon moi liknos al yod. You need the essence of the language to work, to acquire through this.
He's the binding decide what to do.
What to do, and it needs to come from him. It needs an active intention, not only for the ma'asekin of the money, also that the revelation will come through his dibur, and it's his decision. So he wants the revelation, the active intention through the dibur. He can't change it to him. And say, well, boy, this was the doubt. Now he's asking another question. That was the doubt of the Gemara if Yeshana Kiddushin or not. Now, listen to this. Comes to Birkas Shmuel, and he says more. What does he say? Shlomo. Rabbi Shlomo, you know I'm calling you Shlomo? Because there's another son of mine, he's called Shlomo. He entered the room, right? His name is Shlomo? Right, his name is Shlomo? What's your son's name? Numre, what's Numre? Shlomo. How do I know your name? Many years ago, I know your name. Bezat Hashem. No, okay. Yes. 12 years ago. Bezat Hashem. Okay, we called your name 12 years ago. Let's continue on a little bit more. Guys, let's continue. Yes. Yes.
If he has in mind one king and then the other doesn't work,
very good. This is the punchline of the shir. If you want to hear this, you should dance on the table. You know what's the answer? Because the whole idea of kicha is you taking. What the Torah says. The woman needs to be mevatel das. The answer is to mafkir herself. He needs to be the man. He has to take it. He has to come from him. So it's an active das. That's what we say. He's not a mira. His amira needs to reveal his das. It's his. Otherwise, it's not a bailing. The world is belokach. He's taking. It has to come from him. Understand? That's a struggle. But let's say he asked another question. There's one more step. If we answer, we understand the second step. We got the Birkas Shmuel B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, I just told them quickly that we have to learn this on in depth. Velo yishayach la'actions. Comes the Birkas Shmuel, and he says, Afal Piken, I still have a kasha, and he says, not shayach la'action. The question, what's the answer? So the answer is very tricky. You have to really, it's a very deep answer. Listen carefully. Velo yishayach la'action shall say. He says, it's not applicable to ask on this. Unbelievable. When I looked at you, you looked at me, your uncle. No, I need glasses. I was, for 1 second, thinking, hey, but he's already learning Lamanus. What are you doing here? Unbelievable. Your mamish look like your uncle. It's a shvach. Okay. Velo yishayach la'akashel zeh. Doesn't apply here to ask on this. Or who mechaben lekatsho. Achefta shel dibu v'ad. Comes the Birkas Shmuel and says, wait, I have a trick. Maybe his intention is that he wants to marry her with an active intention with the hefza of the word v'at. He wants the word v'at to work. Now the word v'at can work through dibu, that you complete the words v'at through dibu, or the v'at can work to produce umdana. So my intention, you don't tell me that I choose, since you need my active das, and I choose one active, so you can't ask me, what about the other? You need an active das, I don't have the other. He says, no, I didn't have an active das in any way. Or I didn't choose the way of people and not das. I used the hefts of the word, let it work the way it needs to work. If it works from dibu, works from dibu. If it works from das, works from das. And if it works from das, it's my dibu that created the das. My vat created the das. So I have the my. So what's wrong? Let down mocha, let it work. It's an umdana. And you have my intention, my active intention of umdana. Because I never chosen dibu more than umdana. So I just said the word v'at. And I want the hefts of the word to work and produce whatever it can produce. Any leaves, any branches come out of it. I'm happy with it. The one that works is okay. Let's see again. And it's part of my kavanah. And it's considered an active kavanah. It says no. But let's see why not. First, let's read the question well, and why not? And when it's said why not, we have to dance on the table. Let's see. And it doesn't apply to Eskandis. His intention is to mekadosh in the hefts of the word that. He just doesn't know. Is it the word will work? The language will make it work? The word adis and the Torah of Loshoin of language of Kiddushin. Or it doesn't know how it would work. Or mitegas umdano from the laws of an estimation. Shall divas Kiddushin? He says no. That's not a question at all. Why? Listen carefully. Al kol ponim. He says still. O mechaven liknois ad ha'hefzer shel dibu v'at. He says, no, I didn't finish the question. So Al kol ponim has the kavanah that to acquire, he does. Is this kavanah that the hefzer word v'at, and he has an active kavanah? He says, no. Se einoi. The Rabbi says, that's what I need in my Rabbi. Reb Chaim Alevi Mibrisk. The Torah doesn't work. Why? Listen carefully. What we draw an assumption through his language. So hefza chetz, it's another hefza. It's not one hefza with two branches. Dibu is one hefza. And umdana is another hefza. So hefza acheres, that's another hefza. Shanu oisi, we do alidei shediba v'at. Through the words v'at, we have two hefzas, dibu, or we have a hefza umdana. And that's the punchline, the next words. Ve'ein ze etzem adibu shel v'at. The hefza of umdana is not the hefza of that. That's a big chidush. And therefore, we need to create it. It's we, it's not him. So you don't have an active. I'm reading it again. This is the chiddush of my Rabbi. The ma davdin on anon untenodar, we make an observation out of the allusion to the language. So hefza acheres. That's another hefza. Sha'anu the we. Oisim the shediba about that we do through his words. The ain't etzem of dibu shalvat. It's not part of the hefza of the etzem of the dibu of that. So it's not part of the hefza of that. It's something new. So it's not him. It's us. So you don't have an active. It's out. Since his intention that the body of the speech will make a married, so body of the speech is speech. And umdana, it's us making another hefza from the dibur. It's not two branches, it's another hefza. Again, I read again. The umdana that we do is not part of the hefza of dibur of that. And since since he had the intention to marry her, and they go for dibur through the body of the words, that was his intention. He had intention that the body of the words were mekadosh. So before mekadosh, we had the body of the hefzer word v'an as two branches, as the branches of complete the words, or branch of the umdana fruit, but this came through his dibur. So his intention of Kiddushin says no. The umdana that comes from the word v'at, it's another hefzer. It's not part of the hefzer of dibur v'at. And therefore, it's another hefzer. It's we have to do it. It's already us. It's not him. Yes, it's a remailer. I mean, that's why it's anam. It says, it says, it's not part, and not only that, it's another hefza. 1 second, we finish. 1 second. Umikevan, and since his intentions to mekadosh through the goof of the body of the dibur, his intention, he wants the hefza of the dibur to do it. So any hefza which is part of that hefza, it's part of his intention. But since it's another hefza, so, and he had the intention only the hefza to do. He had an active intention the hefza of the dibur to do it. And since it's another hefza, 1 second before I ask a question, but get what he says. And since it's another hefza, and he had the intention only the hefza of dibur, and not through that we do. His intention is not that we're going to do from the dibur. It's not another hefza. His intention is I want to make a hefza of dibur and let the hefza of dibur work through the dibur itself, or through another hefza that you can create from that hefza. No, his intention was the hefza. And since the umdan is another hefza that we create from the dibur, it's not him. It wasn't part of the Kiddushin. And I don't have an active kavanah at all in Kiddushin. Umdan or shan lois and we do. As long as we could say. Or anilo kidachich and umdan I didn't mekadosh umdan al degeloshan. As long as you have that option, you can say it wasn't through that avenue. So you don't have kich because kich has to be clear from his maisim. And as long as there's an option to say otherwise, you don't have kich from him. Ubaloshan gufa in the language itself, and baloshan kiddushin. There's no lotion literally like hayab kiddushin. This is the depths of my Rabbi, bless his memory. Because from his language, love, we don't do estimation. Why? The is two heftas of dibur. And umdana is another hefza. Dibur could be dibur, so it's yad of dibur, and the full dibur is part of yad, is another hefza. But from dibur, from the art to create umdana is another hefza. So therefore, you can't say that I had that my active attention goes on both ways. If it's one hefza, so I have my intention was to say the hefza dibur, let the hefza dibur work at all the branches. So you have an active kavanah. But since the two different heftzes, dibur was one hefza and umdana was another hefza, and my intention was only the hefza of the dibur, and hefza dibur is not the hefza of umdana, and I rather we do an umdana from his dibur as we, so you don't have an active kavanah to umdana, so I don't have him as we, it's not him, and you need dibur the day, you need kavanah the day, and not the day will work. La 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 la. Let's go. Yes, Negro. Sure. Good questions. Rabbi, good. You have a lot of good questions. The answers to you, when we can learn the laws of our Ma'uv, but no son, we're going to ask those questions. Yes. But the intention, what does it? Intention. No. The people cannot make Untana. What about Untana can change the people? It's another shayla. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know the question.
We do the lashon, you don't do the word, you do the right, you do the masud of lashon.
Right. Because another hefza.
Can never change the lashon. Because now you do lashon.
I don't know. Good. We will learn. I don't know. I don't say yes or no because I don't know. Yes, Cheskel.
מדברים על קידושין, מקודשת.
כן, זה ברור. למה לא פה? בגלל שפה הוא אמר, הוא השתמש עם לשון, הוא אמר ואת, והכוונה שלו שהלשון שהוא אומר יביא כיחה, יביא ראיה, יביא כוונה ודעת לקניין, ולא על ידי אומדנה, כי זה חפצה אחרת. רק זה הנקודה, אני אגיד לך תשובה. כיוון שראינו שצריך אקטיביטי, יכול אקטיבה כוונה, כמו שאדם נותן כסף, צריך כוונה לקניין כסף ולא לחליפין, ולא להתעסק לו זה במי שחושב סתם הוא הופך אדמה. אז לא דין גם בדיבור, כיוון שהדיבור, הוא צריך ליצור דרך הדיבור שלו והמעשים שלו, אומדנה צריך אקטיביטה כוונה אינטנציון. So, כיוון שאקטיביטה אינטנציון היה לדיבור ואת, אין אקטיביטה אינטנציון לאומדנה כי זה חפצה אחרת, זה התשובה. הבנת? Your own is like Einstein, mamish. The amkes of the Birkat Shmuel is so deep, it's unbelievable, right? It's a pele godel. Okay, anyhow. Musa Shmus. We'll say Musa Shmus. Yes, Rabbi.
Maseches.
Right.
But Mele, if it's from them, it's not from him.
Correct. He's saying two things. He's saying that you need an active das.
Stuff can eat that.
Yes.
And if he said the thing and he had the meaning, he was
I'll tell you what he wants to mafkia. Why I said two svores. I understand from him why I have to say two things. An active, it's another hefza. Because if it was another hefza, let me have a general kavana. I wanted the result. So what I guess two hefzas. Why you can't continue an active das? That's why I said two things. An active and two hefzas. Two hefzas alone is not enough of a svor to knock it out. That from Losher I don't make analavdin umdana. Why not? I have a general kavana. Why not? And it's me, my general kavana. The answer is you need an active. So that general doesn't work. Okay. Besiyata dishmai when I help of Hashem Musa Shmus. Musa Shmus. I want to explain something which bothered me a long time. There are many years, it didn't question in my heart, as they say, you know. I have a question that doesn't bother you, go through it. Go through it. It bothers you, we go through it. I want to stand on it today, B'ezrat Hashem. And Shlomo is for you. Shlomo is for him. These words of Torah is Shlomo. This is careful. I don't know if you know entiende English, but one day you learn. Salomon. Listen carefully. We learned in Parshas Vayeshev. It says like this. Ele toldos Yaakov Yosef ben 17 shana. Yosef was 17 years old. And who he was? It says, V'Yisrael oav es Yosef mikol banav. Israel, Yaakov Avinu loved Yosef from all his children. Mikol banav, more than all his children. Why? Ki ben zekunim huloi. He's a son of elders for him. Any explanation? There's other children, Binyamin later than him. Huloi, he was a servant. Or because he revealed to him all the Torah. Like the Uncle says, Bar Hakim. All what he learned from Avram, from Shem and Aver, he gave over to Yosef. Imagine Yosef at Tzaddik is 17 years old. And already Yaakov Avinu Yisrael gave him all the secrets of the Torah. And the Kli Yakar in length says that the other children didn't really enjoy to learn Torah with their father Yaakov. And Yosef was all desires to hear from his father what he says, Torah, Torah, Torah. That's what he says. I said the word he didn't enjoy, he said it even worse. Ma'asu. You know the word ma'asu? Disgusted. And I was shocked to say those words, but that's what the Kli Yakar says. Unbelievable. They learned Torah by other rabbis, not through him. They didn't want to ma'asu the chochmosoi of Yaakov Avinu. That's what he said. But it says that Yosef, his full desire was only to know what his father is saying. In every word he said, he was desired to know, and he was a wise son. He was able to stand every little hint and every secret, all the secrets of the Torah and all the depths of the Torah that Yaakov Avinu learned from Shem and Aver. Yosef was able to reveal, to grasp. That's what the Kli Yakar says. I understand that you want to learn from another rabbi. Because when you learn from your father is not only teaching you wisdom, he's also training you on your behavior. And a lot of kids cannot learn. Why we have schools? Why do you send schools to Yerushalayim? Let the parents teach. Because when the parents teach a child, you need to be a very special parent. See, Rabbi David, Zilberman used to teach his kids. Very few rabbis, Gershon Edelstein, Rabbi taught his kids. Very few rabbis, Rabbi Yitzchak Zilberstein, from Russia, Soviet Russia, no chance. Who knows what? In Colombia, there's no schools. You teach your children. It's a di'evet. Because child to learn from his father is very hard, because the father is oppressing all the character of himself to his child. And those things the kids don't want to pick up. So they love to learn from other rabbis. Too much pressure. That's my understanding. That's what the Kli Yakar says. Very hard to understand, but that's what he says. Though it's tzaddikim, not a doubt about it. Okay, so what do you know? Israel loves Yosef. Israel loves his son Yosef. Mikol Bana from all his children. Because Ki and Zekunim Eloi. He's a son of Zekunim. Zoki means wisdom. He taught him all the wisdom. He's the big Talmid Chacham. He loves them. And we explained at the beginning of the week, he wanted to stand out and to dress out for all the family that the most important thing is Torah. So that's why he made him K'tanispasim, gave him special things for everybody to desire, to create jealousy of soifim. Kina soifim tar b'chochma. Jealousy of wisdom creates more wisdom. So he wanted to create jealousy in the family that everybody should want to learn more Torah. Okay, that's what we explained at the beginning of the week. But what bothered me for many, many years is one pasuk before. Let's see what the pasuk before. Eile told us Yaakov. Who's the main children of Yaakov? Yosef. Ben Shvayes Reshono. He was 17 years old. Oyoroyes Eicho Batzoin. He used to shepherd with his brothers, help his brothers. Which brothers? But then it says, Una. What does the word Na mean? Rashi says, he was doing actions of young boy. Metaken Besoro, he fixes his hair. Memashmesh Be'inav, rubbing his eyes. Kedeshi Enira Yof, in order to be look nice. What? Yosef HaTzadik, he is the Ben Zikunim, the Talmid Chacham. He was able to receive all the Torah of his father, all what Shem Ba'eva gave him. And he was searching to get information of father, and he was able to hold on to all the pleasure of his father, and he's learning Torah day and night with his father. Ben Zikunim, ki ben Chol Talmid Chacham. Now, Once that's the answer, but I'm presenting the question. Now, what's now mean? Now means that the Balaturim says now gematria shoite. Look in Balaturim. Immature. A young boy is taking hair, putting gel in his hair, shaving to look nice. What? Yaakov Avinu didn't spill seed till 84 years old. There was a tzaddik gomer. Yosef, Yaakov loves him because he's giving him all his energy, and he sees that he's a Talmid Chacham, he wants to stay day and night. And he's taking care of his hair. He's taking care of his beauty. That's what fit. That bothered me. Every I read it, I have a question in my heart, and it hurts me. How's it possible? And I just continue on, but it doesn't make sense to me. How can such a Talmid Chacham of Yaakov, of Yosef HaTzadik, how can be such a thing? So the famous story I heard from my father, bless his memory, that the rocket shover, when he was 13 years old, he gave a drosha, and all the big Talmid Chacham of all the city and the cities next to came. He knew the whole Shas, Bavli, Yerushalmi, and he gave a drosha, like child shooting. He knows everything. Everybody's like, wow. And he goes, here, the wisdom he has in his bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah, the pseudo bar mitzvah, all the rabbis came, and he giving 2 hours, shiur, Bavli, Yerushalmi, Sefri, and he has question, he answers this, and like Mama Sheklein. And there was a big window behind the Beis Medrash. This I heard from Rabbi Zinneman. My father was there, I heard from Rabbi Zinneman. True story. Then what happened? And years ago, Hapu used to travel with horses. So the horses was tied up behind the Beis Medrash. And one of the horses untied the rope for the horse, and the horse started to run. So suddenly the Rokochover, as a young boy, 13 years old, he stops his drasha, he runs, he jumps on all the benches, he jumps through the window, and he runs after the horse, and he grabs it, and he's all smiling, he was able to grab the horse, and he rings by the horse back. What? And everybody's listening to this drasha, there's a big going on. And people answered, he's still a child. Baruch Hashem. I want to explain this concept, very important concept. Very important concept. The Kli Yakar says, or the Ramban also, the Rachaim, the Kli Yakar, the Ramban say that Yaakov Avinu only saw the side of Yosef of a Talmid Chacham. They didn't know the side of Nahar and Dun Diba. The Rachaim says no, everything was L'Shem Shamayim. But really, it's not a stira. It's not a stira. Why? Let's think carefully what's going on. You have a child, he's very smart, he loves Torah because he knows that you want Torah. So why he wants Torah? Because he wants, or because you want, and he wants to do what you want. He wants Torah, he wants. And even if the parents are not religious, and sometimes you see children want Torah, it's Torah Simech. What is the Torah of the mother? The mother gave him the values. Be a righteous man, be a good man, and he found out that righteous and good is Torah, so he wants Torah. But he really wants Torah for himself, or he got those values from his parents, not really himself. It takes years after experience of life to start wanting from your own. And the experience of life teaches a person to decide and understand on their own what they want and what's the right thing. So the fact that Yosef was making himself beautiful is not a stira. It's not a stira to Yosef, because he was a man. It wasn't from him, it was the Nahud, it was the body. But really Yosef, at that time, was a big tzaddik. He wanted to desire the father. Afterward, when he had his own Yisoinus, he became Yosef HaTzadik on his own. Now he's the son of Yaakov. And he wants to learn Torah because his father wants, and he wants to please his father, and he loves the Torah too. There's levels, percentage. So the nah that he's acting like a nah is not a stira. It's not a stira in the ma'ut. And there's a big lesson when you train your kids, or you have students in the yeshiva. Sometimes I see guy learns Torah day and night in yeshivas, come to yeshiva, loves Torah. And so he tells me, listen, last night when I saw him, I saw him in town. I saw what girl. Like I collapsed. How's it possible? This guy learning Torah. How's it go? How it goes together? Okay, I said, my answer is, he's okay. He's 17 years old. He has desires, this and that. He couldn't hold that in. So really, it doesn't show, which means part of the growth of what Hashem puts a man in the world is to win, not to fall. Yosef Atzadik won. When he came, the Nisoin of Potiphera, he was handled in Nisoin and became a Yosef Atzadik, a big Tzadik. Yerushalayim. But the Torah is saying, he was doing my scenarios when he was 17 years old. But really wasn't the essence of Yosef. Yosef was a tzaddik ben chocham. So this is a big lesson in mechanech kids. We have to build up the talmid chocham of the child, and not to look at the nar of the child. And slowly, slowly, the talmid chocham of the child will overcome the nar and become a talmid chocham. But if you focus on the nar, so you lose the child. So the Ramban and the Kriya says, for Yaakov Avinu, not that Yaakov Avinu didn't know. Yaakov Avinu stressed in order to kinasoifim or the talmid chocham shebonim. That's why he loved in him, and he expressed that love, even though he knew it's a nah. It's a nah. It's not a steer. He can run after the horse because he's 13 years old. He's running after the horse. He sees the horse running. So he's jumping and running, and he's smiling. He caught the horse. And you know, Dosha. Everybody's waiting. He gave him a bar mitzvah. He jumped, forgot about the horse. He shot me, buddy. He ran after the horse. What's going on? That's it. He was still a child. He was 13 years old. It's a big lesson for ourselves. And Chazal teaches you, Yodea tzadik nefesh behemtoy. A tzaddik knows his nefesh behemis. Everybody has a nefesh behemis. Doesn't go away even when you're old. You just have to know how to control it. Yodea tzadik nefesh there. Tzaddik knows his nefesh behemis, and he knows how to handle her. It takes years, and you know how to handle it. There's a famous story. I thought it was a story with Rabbi Scheinberg. Zecher Tzadik Kosher Vocha, my father, one of my father's rabbis, Chavrusa. My father was Chavrusa for many years. And Rabbi Scheinberg, when he was 90 years old, he lived to 100-something years old. When he was 90-something years old, he made a big party in the yeshiva. So what's the party's about? He says, I passed by a newspaper and I saw a headlines in English that the Yankees won, who knows what, the Bull of Chicago, I don't know, I'm mixing number names, what's the matter? They won slam shot 3-0. And I passed through it and I just continued to step on it. And I didn't feel any feeling in my heart to be excited about it. I realized that I changed my internal being. I don't have my nefesh behemis. So he made a big party. Big story, very big story. 90 years old.
Great story.
When people are young, they're benazmanim, they rest. When you're old, there's no rest. There's no life is short. We leave the world. You only want to take a then. There's no stop. Okay, sometimes you need a rest so your body can continue. So you have Shabbos, you have this, so you have to have your wife. There's payments of your wife, you have to know. But in general, when you get to age, there's no benazman. He's only learning Torah. There's no different benazman. It's not learning night, morning, Shabbos. It's always Torah, nothing else. Child, there's no school. 1:15 rabbi, you have to finish the shiur. They start banging on the watch, telling me the rabbi, finish, get out. Tina rabbi says, like a child running from school. That's when you're a child, because you have an internal Goldstein. It's a nah. And afterwards, you internal Goldstein, and that's the goal. And that's where we train in yeshiva. A guy comes in, he has other problems, other things in his head. Slowly, all the things fall off, and he has internal Goldstein, and he has his own Goldstein to become a talmid chacham. And that's the bracha we give everyone. They become internally talmid chacham yirei shamayim. Shabbos. Hier wordt een beetje normaal, ik hoop het zo lang, zie je het erop, ja, kadeel is kadeel, je mee rabo, ik wat zei, ja, ik mag zei, hij kon in een gewoon, we gaan op base Israël. Daar gewoon is daar gewoon voor me. Salon, Schnee de Kiddushin. Ich will mit Gott was ich Israel und Rabban da mit Jordan und die Texane der da Roma dos Kiborai für die Schabe, die Bechola Salva יהיה עוד כל שבוע בוקר הולכי כל החגים וחי נדים זה לגבי כל המקום שבוע בוקר שבוע בוקר נשמע ירחם עלינו אבל נשחק ואומר עושה שלמו יעשה לכם עוד שלם עלינו אבל נשחק ואומר ראיתי את זה שמאל המקדש ראית את זה? כן נער עשו לו ניסיון לא, דמילה הוא יודע והוא נער זה היה הבעיה שלו כי אדם כמה שהוא יודע כל הכלל כולו הוא אומר לי לא זה לא בעיה הוא בא להגיד שזה לא זה לא הפוך, ואתה מתמודד כמו הכל. הוא צריך הסוס. בדיוק.